Today we're talking about limiting beliefs, one of them being I need to know everything about these numbers. I need to be a numbers expert to be able to buy a business. We're going to talk about why that's just not true. So we're talking about how you don't really need to be an expert in numbers to go out and buy businesses. You don't need to be Warren Buffett. You don't need to be like a Wharton MBA grad. So let me tell you a quick story about Rick. So Rick was a really great sales guy. He's down in Austin, Texas. He's working for a medical device company. He's got wife, kids. He's grinding away, and he's whenever you meet Rick, you really like the guy, and he's got the dream to basically become financially independent. The problem was that he's in this place that he doesn't like the people that he's working with. His boss is a butthole, and so Rick dreams of financial independence. But he'd grown up in this family that had basically convinced him that, and all his friends around him too believe this. Unfortunately, is that you've got to have a Harvard or a Stanford MBA to be able to go out and buy businesses on your own. And so he just felt like he was stuck, and he was kind of floundering, honestly. And it was, whenever I heard the story, it was a little bit depressing. But something interesting happened. So he has a buddy, his name's Tim, who they go out to get a beer one night, and Tim brings one of his clients. Tim's another sales guy. And Tim brings a friend named Adam. And Adam was a business owner and who had been in sales, and so Rick and Adam are talking, and finally gets to the conversation of, hey, how'd you end up buying your own company? What's that like? And what'd you have to learn to be able to do that? And so Adam basically says, it's really a lot easier than I thought. I went out, I saw a bunch of businesses, I got a little bit of help from some folks. I'm not a numbers guy. I'm really honestly not an operations guy, but I got some, the help that I needed, and I knew who to call, and ended up buying a business. And it's been the greatest decision that I've ever made in my life. So Rick hears this and he's like, that's what I want to do. Man, I really, if there's any way that just books that I could read or anything like that, I'm looking to do something because I feel stuck at work, and I'm not liking this. And so Adam basically says, hey, listen, here's what I'll do. Tomorrow, whenever I get to my office, I've got a course that I went through to be able to buy my first business. And if you read it, you'll know everything that you need to know. And so I'll go and I'll have somebody bring it over to you tomorrow. And so night goes on, they have a good time. Next day comes around, and Adam has his assistant go bring the book over to Rick's office. And Rick gets the book, goes home that night, cracks it open, he starts to read it, and he's still kind of skeptical, quite honestly, because is this real? And as he reads it, he realizes actually the steps are pretty much like a sales process. I've done this before. I understand how to do that, and I know people. And so if I can get in contact with the right folks, then all of the gaps that I feel like I have, I can kind of get past those if I'm willing to pick up the phone. And I know how to do that, so let's give this a shot. So he basically bores into it, and a few months go by, he finally picks up a deal. And that's whenever I get the call. That's how I find out about this. Is he basically calls and says, Matt, I've got a deal. Listen, I read your course. Somebody gave it to me, and I've got a deal with the business owner that he wants to sell to me, and I really need some help with the numbers. It's not my area of expertise. I really don't know what to do there. So I say, sure, yeah, let's do it. And so we spend a little time. I learn about the deal, ask him a few questions, give him a little bit of homework to do, and then we kind of work through a couple of things that just to kind of make sure that he's headed the right direction with the deal. We get that worked out, and he goes on and does his thing, and I don't hear from him for a couple of months. So a couple months go by, and I finally get the phone call back from him, and he's closed on the business. And so congratulations, Rick, good job, really happy to hear it. And so I reached out to him about a year after that, and just to kind of get an update on where he was, because I was interested to see what had happened. Just 'cause it came out of the blue, and he basically said, I got in there. We immediately did some things to grow sales, and so that was kind of my main focus right out of the gate. Once we got that churning, it was pretty easy. We had the team in place, and so I didn't have to do a lot of the operation stuff. And honestly, man, if I wanted to, I could just work a day or two a week. I'm working more than that because we're able to sell some things. That's my wheelhouse, and I want to keep growing it. But right now he's making about $250,000 a year. He's got freedom now. He's not in that dead end job, and so it was an awesome story. And it goes to show you that if you're not an expert in the numbers, it's okay. People have been led to believe that they've got to be this Ivy League MBA or something like that to be able to do this, but just not true. And so if you're interested in buying a business, I encourage you to do the one thing that Rick did, which was he took the first step and he got a little help. If you're willing to take the first step and get a little help, you can close deals. So I hope that helped you. If you're interested in seeing what we're doing at Deal Camp, visit dealcamp.com or check out the show notes below. And as always, good luck out there.